Tommy, make me 3 attack rolls. Conor and Donald, make me 3 attack rolls. Adam, make me 4 attack rolls.
Boom!
You want 3 regular.
The first one.
So, what type of attack are you looking for?
Any attack roll. If you're gonna use spells for this, just treat it as like 15 plus your base attack bonus.
We're just basically acting as if we're in combat.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I would just use 3 magic missiles and.
Well, that helps because then I'll just do melee instead of wasting time with my longbow.
Okay. I have a question because I have rapid shot. Does it give me additional attack?
You're getting additional attacks because you're the only one in the air.
Okay, but I also have rapid shot. That would allow me use additional attack per turn.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll give you 5.
Okay. So, but that will be penalties.
How much time passed? I had the shield spell on.
How long does shield last?
It lasts for 50 rounds, so 5 minutes.
It'll expire about halfway through.
Okay.
Okay. The 3 attack rolls for Aiden are 23, 27, and 14.
Okay, I just post those in the chat so I have them for text reference. Okay, with Tommy and Guy. So you run into the western quadrant of this town, and there are things everywhere. You basically begin cutting into these beings, especially Guy. Guy finds the first of these monsters with an almost supernatural anger.
Anger works.
With an almost supernatural anger, you come up on this first monster that's dragging a townsfolk from their home, and you just lop off its head.
A piercing weapon, no less.
It's like a sewing machine.
Okay, sorry, I forgot you were using a rapier.
Probably just stab it through the side of its head.
Yeah, you come in through its soft spot, like the crown of its skull, down into its brain.
You make a nice, wholesome sweater out of them.
A nice patchwork quilt.
No. No, this is what happened. You make a pretty nice ghoul sweater using the ghoul flesh.
Yeah.
Right.
Make a nice pair of mittens to send to the kids at Christmas.
Yeah.
Do you want to turn that into a magic item?
You can use ghoul flesh.
And Tommy, you get sort of medium roll. Have anything to describe to me? Both of you can describe to me how you go about brutalizing these creatures, because I don't see a roll here that missed.
Probably for Guy, just unexpected quick strikes to turn the advantage to the townsfolk.
So as these creatures are dragging people from their homes, you're stepping into these households through doorways, you're slapping away grasping hands and puncturing vital organs and skulls. You're rupturing organs, piercing lungs, eviscerating bodies in a way that only Guy knows how to do from hundreds of years of practice.
Yeah.
Okay. Magnus?
For Magnus, it's probably a little more like just another day at work, really methodical. Like, if there's people struggling or screaming, Magnus doesn't care. It's just grab the hammer, bring the hammer down. Mechanically, the first person I hit takes 12d6 plus 11. So I imagine they're very dead based on the attack at, like, the sheriff's office.
Ooh.
How do they feel
yeah,
about
because this is with an Earthbreaker, right? You're basically, like, swinging around a big, pointy sledgehammer.
Big meat tenderizer.
Yeah. Just kind of, like, move to the next guy, end him, move to the next guy, send them.
So in a methodical, like, incredibly practiced manner, you're so used to hitting the exact same spot over and over and over again between splitting wedges and carpenter's chisels. It's almost like work, striking the same place in the body repeatedly, hearing the fracturing of bones, the splitting of marrow, the crunch of skulls as you methodically destroy creature after creature.
We can just feel the erection from here.
This reminds me of scene from South Park, the Hardy Boys. I think I have a clue over here. No, I have a clue over here.
Oh, I found a raging clue.
Okay, so what are you're using magic missiles, so first level spells, so I'm counting those 3 16s. And Chris got a 23, 27, and 14. Those are all also hits. So unless you guys, do you guys have descriptions of what you're doing? Because you're in the
yes.
north end of town. Connor, go.
You said that they were like in houses.
Yeah, they're like breaking into houses and dragging people out. This is from like the information you've been given from what it was like before. This seems so incredibly different. This is a raid.
Yeah. So since they're still in doorways, I can't really use the horse all that much. So
oh no, there are people like out in the streets.
Well, then there we go.
As you ride farther north into town, there's like a little time passes and people are being dragged through the streets.
Gotcha. So this is where Aiden tends to shine because he's not allowed to do anything else. And as he rides by, the greatsword comes down, and he just kind of starts chopping away as he rides by these things. Great, huge swings that, if they were close enough, would count as freaking cleaves just from the velocity, combined with the warhorse's movement.
So you're playing water polo with ghouls.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
So
not water polo, just normal fucking polo.
And luckily, they're ghouls. I don't have to be honorable about this.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. And so he doesn't even have to shout peekaboo before he starts riding them down and swinging with the sword, and probably picks one up with it, honestly, just right through the chest and lift and goes bah, 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 and then shakes them off. You just have
okay, so very much like Braveheart.
Yeah, honestly.
William Wallace.
Yeah.
Riding through the streets on your horse, you draw your greatsword and hack bodies in twain at the rib cage, at the neck, at the hip in one case. Just.
And the ghoul's just torso. He's like, oh.
Yes, a man in two.
Oh yes. And the reason doing it like that is so he doesn't have to get off the horse before wheeling around to go south.
All right. So and Victor, you said you were using up
yes,
magic missiles for this?
Yeah, so I would get my rod out, with my walking stick, and shoot magic missile, and say death curses at them with a very undead, anti-undead slur, using extreme prejudice to kill them using magic, but in a very fancy and fashionable gentleman method. Yes,
you have your walking stick held up to your shoulder, sort of like clasped against your shoulder like the butt of a rifle, firing magic missiles into these abominable creatures, screaming, "Pharasma claims you!" Other such in-canon curses against the undead, as a stream of white iridescent bolts collides with the chests and heads and torsos of these abominations, shredding them into pieces.
Let me add on, I use a protestation on the way to have opera music playing in the background. I need to make killing classy.
All right, so he's on his ball-peen hammer machine gun rampage.
Sweet.
And Helyon.
Yeah, I'm trying to kill each one with a single arrow, but if that doesn't work, I'm turning them into pincushions.
Looking at these attack and damage rolls, yeah, you're pretty much murking a dude per. So, are you in the streets, or are you up on a rooftop?
In the streets.
Okay, so you're moving from street to street, clearing the area as you go. You turn a corner, draw your bone, loose an arrow, and through a chest, through a head, through a whatever. You're the undead expert here.
Nah.
Whatever works.
Yes. And as you continue to clear streets, you shoot through doorways and down streets and through alleyways. You even, there's one instance where you get particularly clever and you bank an arrow off a bell outside of a smithy's shop, and it banks off the bell and travels around a shallow corner and nails a ghoul in the back of the head.
Yeah, I like it.
And it's just Aiden heading towards the south of the city.
Unless Buddy didn't jump off my horse, then he's coming with me.
Well, he would have had to start Metal Gear Soliding around the northern region of the town.
Well, then yes, just Aiden, I guess.
Okay. So as Aiden turns towards the southern end of the city, you cross down through the northern region of town, down through the marketplace where you see people being dragged from their houses. You cut down many creatures in your path, in your righteous fury, but there are so many. There are so many, and they're grabbing indiscriminately. And you hack as with the sort of fervor, whatever your fervor will allow. And as you make your way further and further south into the city, there are no creatures there.
Really?
Doors hang open in households, in shops. Lights are left on, but
any signs of movement?
There are no people. There are no creatures.
Okay,
Here.
Are there any signs on the ground, like footprints, drag marks, anything?
Yes, everywhere.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Like the doorways are open. The struggle here has already occurred.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, is there bodies or is people just gone?
People are gone.
Okay. Is there any way to track where they're going? Because Aiden is not stopping because he cannot stop.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's literally not allowed to stop trying to save these people.
Yes, as your armadillo eggs him on.
Aiden's like, shit, they're gone, and she's like, nah, bitch, get going.
You're charging up and down the streets and alleyways in the southern section of town, and there's drag marks everywhere. There's signs of struggle, but no one's here. It's like they disappeared into the south of town. Are you following the drag marks, or are you just looking for things to murder?
I'm following the drag marks, keeping an eye out for things to murder.
Okay.
But primarily looking to see where they've gone.
So you're following the drag marks further and further south away from town, and the drag marks eventually turn toward westward, and they travel through the woods westward and north and westward, further and further. Because you're on horseback, you do eventually start to catch up with a couple stragglers, screaming townsfolk being dragged by creatures which you cut down from horseback with your sword. And you're thanked profusely. Thank you, sir, thank you for saving their lives. But you can only find so many.
But they definitely went off into the woods there.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have... Just checking possessions real quick. Yeah, okay. So the others are all around town right now.
As far as you know?
Victor saw Aiden head off south.
Probably.
Okay. I got a strength score of 18. Can I pop one of these here flares and throw it into the air?
Yeah, certainly, all that.
Cool.
So you hurl this flare up into the tree line, and it catches in the upper branches of a pine tree. And anyone who makes a perception, you don't have to roll it.
I see the shit out of it.
I got it.
Yeah, you do. You see the shit out of that flare. Anyone who makes a perception check, or anyone who has a passive perception higher than 10, can see this. Yeah, you can see this flare.
All right.
Okay. You can see it just off to the southwest. The southwest of town, right around here.
I mean, to be fair, Guy is probably looking around for, after a body is killed and he doesn't see anywhere nearby, he probably searches the bodies for any marks.
Because it's not a town. There's no electricity or anything. So during the night, it's dark, and it's like a new moon, so there's no light.
So it's dark, or does it count as dim light?
It would count as dim light because there's still starlight.
And the moon and everything.
But it's new moon, so no.
There's no moon. There's no moon out.
I mean, I just about correct there.
It's dark light. So it's dim. You can see, sort of, but it's not bright out. But it definitely makes this flare over here easier to see.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I run out of undead to kill and I see this flare, I definitely follow it.
Magnus probably sees it as kind of like someone is calling him specifically to do his job, so Magnus is gonna just like head that way.
Okay. So if everyone's heading towards the flare, you eventually meet up with Aiden in the woods, and you can follow the drag marks westward.
Fuck yeah, we are.
Yeah,
So-
we are investigators. We are the boss.
Okay.
As we're going this way, he probably mentions the fact that we saw going into town these figures, so this would make sense that this is where they would be taking the townsfolk.
So everyone wants to follow the drag marks?
See,
All right.
Quick question. Would I be able to take the horse through the woods, or do I gotta dismount?
What do you mean?
Well, because it's woods, like how thick are they? Because if it's super
Oh,
thick,
no.
the
You
horse
can
ain't gonna do fuck all.
take the horse.
Okay, cool.
You can take the horse.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a break real quick here, like 2 minutes, because I have to pee again.
Okay.
But when we come back, you will be following the drag marks. Okay, so we're getting back here to joining you guys, following the drag marks westward of town towards the road. As you follow these drag marks through the forest, you get closer and closer to the road until eventually you're almost basically parallel to it, but never quite on the road. And you follow it for the better part of an hour before you all of the trail sort of. There's also blood on the trail. Like there's definitely spots in the trail where Helyon picks up the smell of blood or the telltale signs of the matting of blood in the dirt, and eventually the trail moves farther northward across the road and into the woods on the other side of the road, through those woods, and then through a break in the wall, in a probably like 6 or 7 foot high stone wall. And some of you by now must realize that you've hit the estate grounds you passed on the way into town,
Oh yeah, right away.
and this is like you're crossing the wall that encompasses the estate grounds.
Okay,
is
so
anybody having problems seeing? Real quick.
It's dark. Who here doesn't have low light vision or dark vision?
Aiden. So then,
So
real quick,
just-
I'm gonna grab Aiden's greatsword and say something in Truth Arc and cast Continual Flame on it. I have it as a spell, like.
Oh,
my God.
okay, yeah.
So what is it? What, is my sword on fire now, or is it just giving off?
It glows light like it's torched forever and ever and ever.
works for me.
Your sword is giving off faint blicks of flame come up later with the sword in blue iridescent flame, but it produces no heat. But
The sword goes, thanks, dude.
Your great torch. Your great torch. Your great sword. Your great sword sheds light like a torch.
To be fair, it's a +1 greatsword. I'm planning on getting Gray Flame put on it, so.
It's a +1 great torch.
Yeah, exactly.
Improvised weapon action. We got it.
Just remember, he probably looks really creepy with his mask on and the dark vision, probably just like a metal mask and then 2 like glowing eyes peering back through it.
Okay, real quick before I make a joke. Kane, you said that it's like there's a break in the wall ahead of us. Like, is it wide, or is it just like we have to like sidle through?
It's like you could bring your horse through. It's like a 5 to 7 feet wide. It's like someone over time sort of like hacked their way through the stone wall.
Okay, I could probably force the horse to squeeze through.
Yeah, far enough away that like couldn't see it from the road, sort of thing.
I gotcha. I was gonna say, all right, so we got Daddy's in here. People need saving. Guy, don't make any too quick movements because you're creepy.
and
So on Roll20, I'm hopefully gonna send you to a separate map.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Accidentally sends it to the treasure room. We win.
Great success.
quick theory, our villain learned that we are here and decided to speed up his gathering of people.
Good.
Okay, here we go.
So everyone has control of their character?
Correct.
Yeah.
Adam?
Yes.
Okay.
Kane, I would cast Prestige station light on my lamp, so I have some type of a light source.
Okay. So you guys come in from the side of the estate grounds, so you're not necessarily in the house. Do you guys want to come around to the front of the house, or do you want to come around, like, you want to do something else?
Magnus will go in the first door or window or whatever that is open.
Can we still see the tracks?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So as you get into the estate grounds are fairly lush. They've become, over time, overgrown. And the grass is very high here. Topiary garden in the back that has become increasingly overgrown. And the tracks you follow up into this break in the wall sort of disperse into many different trails through the grass.
Lame.
Okay, so
Some go in front of the house, behind the house. Some go directly toward that, like from the break in the wall. Some go directly toward the house.
okay, so if someone go directly towards, let's try it.
Yeah, I'm walking
Tips.
just straight in.
Unless with a successful check, I can tell which are the newest.
Okay, calm down, you spastics.
Never!
What you're getting from I'm assuming you're making survival checks.
And he got a
Oh,
natural
yes,
20.
a natural 20. Okay, you know you can go in the front of the house or the back of the house.
Okay, but I
There
missed.
are options.
Okay, so both are fresh. Okay, so yeah, let's go from the back if you are from the back.
You want to go from the back? Okay.
Yeah, if you are already in the back, then
Okay, we'll move you over here.
Guy will go into the back of the house as well, unless everyone is deciding to listen.
Okay, so you come to a large cellar door near the back of the house, which is not locked. There's like a discarded chain and lock next to the door.
Okay, I'm going to examine for any type of tracks.
Helyon got this already with his survival check.
yeah,
There are tracks leading to this door.
So
that's yeah.
Magnus is right here, and as everybody's deliberating, I'm just gonna like ready an attack action for anything that comes through that door.
For me, it looks like it may be a place where they keep the prisoners, a cellar like that.
So you guys gonna open the door?
Let's open.
I would
You-
say stand back a bit and prepare attack action if something comes out.
Okay, so you have
Fair
all your
enough.
actions prepared. You open up the cellar door to reveal a staircase that leads down into the darkness.
Sweet.
You guys are fighting over leading.
Yup.
Yeah, we
are
Honor
getting
versus
down the
Vikings
deep
bravado.
boopy staircase the quickest.
Magnus and Aiden get stuck in the stairway and everyone's fucked.
Be careful not to touch him or the shocking grasp goes off.
We are fighting for the lead who is going to be the best man in the show.
Well, if a bunch of ghouls suddenly descend on us, who's gonna be better at surviving it?
The guy with the 12d6 plus 11.
Yeah, Victor, you are using magic missiles. You can be in the back.
The guy who can make a 28 armor class.
Yeah.
So Magus is just gonna march into this room.
I'm not sure like where the room
we
is.
just like stop and you're just like.
I'm not like the way things are being revealed. I'm not sure if this is still hallway or what's going on.
I'm revealing content as you can see it.
Okay, so this is a
So
room
that
here.
little curve implies we're entering a room instead of a hallway.
Okay, so
Mhm.
I'll make a perception check before I run in. The perception is an 8, but
Okay, so a couple things happen. Give me your perception check.
but I should say like
What's your AC?
as I'm moving through this, I'm gonna have a ready to attack action for if anything like shows up. My AC is like 16, I think. Right? Yeah.
So, as you're walking into the room, you make a scan of this room. It appears to be it's like a cold cellar,
Uh-huh.
right? There are provisions here, casks of ale, a couple shelves off to the side here, which I'll reveal in a moment, that are basically like they're covered in like pickled vegetables and shit.
Uh-huh.
And
Shoot vegetables.
there's probably no pickled shit.
But only probably.
And as you come into the room, there's one of these creatures has been waiting for you.
Okay.
And he hits you with 17.
That does just barely get me, yeah.
Does get you.
Yup.
That'll be the wrong die.
That'll be the wrong die.
Good.
That'll be 5 points of damage and to make me a fort save.
Alright, the fort save is 22. If this is a poison effect, it's 24.
Yeah, you make it. Hard.
Okay, so I see him. Is that the ready to attack action when I see him?
Yeah, that is the ready attack action. If you have a ready attack action to respond to that, you can make your response now.
Alrighty, so that becomes a natural 18 plus stuff to hit him.
Yes,
Alright. So
definitely.
Plus stuff.
plus stuff, so then that means I'm going to spell combat, so I'm going to Shocking Grasp him, and then the Shocking Grasp that's in my spell storing will trigger. So he's going to take 12d6 plus 11.
How are you getting 12d6?
The spell storing enchantment on my weapon has Shocking Grasp, so there's 5, and then an additional 5 from spell combat, and then plus 2 from actually the Earthbreaker.
Alright, man. I trust you. You're the guy who knows math.
Wow, that's a lot of damage.
We'll say,
How much did that weapon freaking cost?
for all intents and purposes, it's got 2 plus 1 enchantments on it, but the last 2 dice are the physical
8,000.
damage, and then every other d6 before the last 2 is electric damage.
Yeah. Basically, one melee attack and 2 spells.
Okay, so 52 points of damage.
A stored spell.
1 attack, a stored spell, and spell strike.
Okay, so this guy leaps onto you and claws you across the chest, and he drags this sort of deep furrow, like 4 lines, into your pectoral. And in response, you swing low underhand Ghoul's chest, and he fucking explodes.
Good.
His arms and legs all fly in separate directions.
Magnus
As
gets the
you-
20S perk.
Yeah, as you, like, eviscerate him into nothingness.
So it didn't seem to care at all about the electricity.
Yeah, how much electricity damage was it?
10d6.
12d.
10d6?
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely took some of it. It didn't necessarily took some.
Okay. So then for my next question, are there any... You said there was a bunch of, like, casks of ale and stuff laying around here.
Yes.
Are there any small enough to easily grab and drink right now?
Right now?
Yes.
The couple that are piled against the wall here, you could probably tap and drink from right now, but not necessarily pick up.
Okay, so I'm gonna... I have a bunch of potions of Cure Light Wounds strapped along my chest. I'm gonna move over to one. I'm gonna ready the attack action because I'm not an idiot. And, just, like, take half of the Cure Light Wounds and then tap in the ale to fill up the rest of the potion and then finish it for... Roll a d8 plus 5. Well, I'll just roll the d8 and add 5.
Did you pay for first level potions at 5th level caster level?
I did.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
With all my
With
strength.
money. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't have, like...
That's unfortunate. That's your six hit points.
Well, I was gonna say that's that Earthbreaker or Stormbreaker. I'm gonna call it now. Must have. That's it. Come on, that's a good name.
It is, yeah. He's a Magus and he's Norse because it's Thor's hammer.
Fuck yeah. So
It's plus 1 spell storing is what it is. So that was 2,000 twice.
Oh, that's a lot of gold. So that's
Well, I had
like
10,500.
I'm curious. Is there any bottle of alcohol laying around?
Yeah, there's the ones Magnus is filling from right now.
The fortitude save is 17 plus 7 for because I am consuming alcohol.
I'm not gonna make you roll fortitude saves for drunkenness.
Oh, sweet, great.
You're adventurers. You have beyond human constitution.
mhm.
Adventurers who spend their evenings in the halls of the Allfather drinking.
Okay, so as you're traveling to the stores room, Victor, make me a perception check, and Aiden.
Woo.
To the both of you, well, not to Aiden, but to Donald, something seems off about right here.
Okay, I examine the door, examine that, and I tell the party members this knowledge.
Okay, towards the southeastern corner of this wall, you examine it, and it feels, when you run your hand along it, there's like a barely perceptible seam.
So is this like a secret door, I could guess? It is?
Yeah, secret door or false wall.
Okay, I mentioned this to the party. These cellars always have some type of a secret exit or entrance. So, does someone want to help me in this, or should I just activate this switch?
Is there any switch around?
Well, from the perception check Donald gave, there doesn't seem to be any switch in the wall.
Knock on it. See if it's hollow.
Probably is, but I'm going first to get a close look at the wall around, and if I don't find anything on the wall, I'm going to try if all the barrels are actually filled with something, or maybe something is hidden in them.
Okay. Is Aiden knocking on the wall?
Yep.
Okay. So.
Ding, ding, ding.
Who's typing?
Me, hang on. I'll type quieter. I'm just trying to I want to get it out fast because it's relevant before, like, if combat starts.
It's not that bad. I just want to know.
I'm just popping in I'm using 3 points from my arcane pool to
Just a second, guys. Don't be distracted. It's okay. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Helyon comes up to the door to inspect... What exactly?
To look for any type of switch that would open it.
Okay. So you run your hands along the wall and over this seam that Victor found in the wall, and you're just not finding anything until Aiden comes up and raps on the wall with the knuckles of his gauntleted hand, and the sound it makes is like canvas.
Canvas?
Like canvas you would paint on.
I poke it with my sword.
Your sword goes right through it.
And we're through. Chop, chop, chop. Fine, slice up and down to open it up.
Yeah. So you carve yourself a doorway through this wall, and
it's a good thing it was canvas. I was just gonna have Magnus smash it.
I mean, that also probably. Are you stepping into this room through the door?
Detect evil.
There's nothing in here.
I'll let you go first this time, Ninja.
Huzzah!
Okay.
Of course, I'll be right behind him.
And still, because Detect Evil's got a decent range.
Yes, yeah, I know. I know how. No, you're not detecting anything. There's, as far as you can tell, there is no living thing in this room, or magic thing that is evil.
Okay.
As you step into this secreted room to the southern wall of this cold cellar, you find only this small, secluded alcove that contains 5 barrels. I know it's not on the map, but there's 5 of you, so there's 5 barrels. 5 barrels. 5 barrels.
Okay. There's 5 barrels.
There's 5 barrels here.
And the number of barrels is 5.
Yes.
And so as we look at these barrels that number within more than 3, more than 4, but less than 6, I would like to check them out and see if there's anything interesting about them, because they're hidden away for some reason, and also there's 5 of them.
So are you quick question, what is this on you, Donald?
Oh, it is the light source I have.
Oh, okay, perfect. So you want to pop these barrels open?
If there's nothing at all interesting about the outside of them, then yeah, I'll pop one open with my sword.
Not that you see. So you wedge your sword into the crevice of this barrel and pop out the top, and it is filled with gold.
Dibs!
Okay, a gold. So
I found it.
These, who wants to give me I will accept an appraise or a knowledge engineering.
Well, I don't have appraise.
Neither.
I don't have appraise, however, Layla does, and so Aiden just kind of picks up the little armadillo and drops it in the barrel.
All right,
now all the
roll?
gold has leprosy.
God damn it!
It's
Whatever,
a
I'm immune.
celestial armadillo.
Celestial leprosy.
I'm immune to disease. It's all right.
Okay, I have pretty good appraise skill on enough.
That would be a 23 appraise from Layla.
Oh, okay, perfect.
She has all the skills that Aiden considers useless. So
between Victor and Layla, you guess there's something like 5,000, maybe 5,500 gold pieces you could cram into a barrel this size.
that's a lot of gold.
And there's 5 of them.
And there's 5 of them, and so that's pretty easy and convenient. And there's 5 of them. What's that, Steph? Oh, there's 5 of them, I think. Kane, was there 5?
There was 5 of them.
Okay. Yeah, there's 5. Okay, so there's 5 of them. And they have 5,000, maybe 55,000 in the 5, and the 5, and the 5, 5, 5, and the 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Anyway, so
I'm gonna drag your token like off the map.
So anyway, these probably weigh a hell of a lot. So maybe let's leave these here for now and come back later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5,000 gold pieces. That's
Yeah,
good.
5.
That's like 100 pounds.
How many pounds?
These each of these barrels probably weighs like
500.
maybe like half a ton.
How much can 20 strength lift again?
Gold is heavy metal.
It is.
If you put the caps back on these barrels and rolled them out, you could probably get them out, but they'd be a bitch to get up the stairs.
Oh god. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why we're going to leave them there, because they are barrels, they are inanimate objects, and
Until the barrels are mimics.
Oh god. Okay, can you imagine if they were mimics and I just dropped Layla into it? I'm pretty sure Aomade would be pretty pissed off with me.
I can. You say they weigh about 100 pounds each.
He said half a ton, so that's about 1,000 pounds each.
1,000 pounds. So I could.
They're about 500 pounds each.
I could. It'd be.
I'm pretty sure me and
stress
Magnus
pushing.
could
Yeah.
drag those or
18
push.
strength.
Oh yeah, you
strength
could
we
probably
got this.
move, but like you couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
Between me and Magnus, we could probably get them up the stairs.
So I'm gonna head up these stairs here.
I could technically push that if I really wanted to, but that would be pushing at my limits.
Yeah.
So let's go up these stairs for now. We'll come back.
Okay. So
We're adventurers. We need money.
I know how I have these maps laying out, and it's because I did them in 2 separate GIMP files. So forgive me.
I understand.
So you're down in this root cellar,
Mhm.
and as you come up to the top of this staircase, you hit another trapdoor. This is not like the cellar door that you came in before. It is like a single 5 foot by 5 foot trapdoor that opens straight up.
It is something you hide under a rug.
Okay. How are you opening this?
This may very
Magus,
well be
isn't it?
the bane of the Magus's existence, because if I touch anything, the spell I'm holding goes off. This is how you get me
you
to
want to
know
maybe
my...
swap out, or?
Yeah, I'll slide back.
I was gonna say we have the grenade's lit. Maybe not. Maybe don't take the hand off it yet.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah, you get that ladder, you have to fucking get pushed up or something.
Or just shocking grasp the ladder, kill the party. This is how you beat.
I really
a
hope
boss.
Magnus remembers to dispel that before he goes take a pee later.
No! Bring new definition to fire crotch.
Yup. I resist 5 of it, but
Okay, so as you poke open this door, what I have revealed is what you see.
Yeah, I do not just like fly through it. Just kind of like.
Give me a stealth roll.
Okay.
Aiden, not anyone else.
By the way, with the fact that detect evil is a constant thing,
he probably pinged those.
Basically, you can do it at will.
Unless there's
Very.
like 9 feet of lead between us and them.
yeah.
It's super evil. It hurts your head.
Aiden, yeah. So Aiden looks up at the trapdoor and he goes, "God damn, that trapdoor is more evil than anything I've seen today."
Mimic.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't be a mimic. Mimics are neutral.
Damn it. Anti-paladin mimic.
Oh no.
True, that's you got schooled on knowledge by my in-person DM, bitch.
It does help that our last session, like 2 mimics attacked them.
Yeah, I've never
So-
used a mimic in my entire life.
Anyway, so
Ow.
there's evil. So Aiden volunteers to go first because holy crap.
Mhm.
Okay, so you creak open the door and you detect 2 separate evil orbs in the room. What you see, Aiden, is what I have revealed to you in this room.
Okay.
Ugh.
Yes, there's a dude pooping on a table.
Yes.
Squatting.
Oh, he's
too late.
squatting. Well, I mean, what do you do when you squat on a table, really?
Hey.
Taking a shit on somebody's fucking food.
Oh god.
Because I want to see what he's shitting on.
Z
Why?
better.
Shooting it like a bucket.
He needs to know.
This is a better question. Are the gold wearing any type of clothes? This is important.
No.
Well, you gonna prestidigitation some clothes on him, dolls? How rude. Prestidigitation.
How
Alright, just
rude.
give me just a second here.
Mage hand a fucking leaf over their genitals.
Okay, tell me about it. Tell me what's happening. What's happening?
Okay, so there's 2 ghouls, or what?
Yeah. Well, from what you see, there's these 2 figures in this room.
And they're both evil.
They look like what you were killing before.
Okay, so going off the fact that they're probably still ghouls, and they are definitely evil no matter what,
Mm-hmm.
Aiden quietly relays this to his comrades,
And nod.
and then tells them that it might get a little loud in a second. So if you are noise sensitive,
Did you make me that stealth check?
I did not, because we forgot about it.
He knows he'll roll badly.
Yes, because Aiden is not stealthy in even the slightest.
No,
I
shit.
know
What?
he's not, because he's wearing full plate armor. So
Like,
roll me
no,
that
go
stealth check,
ching,
biatch.
chang, chang.
You need me to crouch?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't going to roll it because Aiden is going to burst through this as soon as he sees these.
Can he make a bluff check to make the kitchen-y sounds of his plate mail sound like the kitchen-y sounds of the kitchen?
Well, okay, but you're taking around to examine these things before you burst in. So
That
make
is
me
true.
a
Very
stealth
well.
check.
Very true. Very true. That is... Okay, I rolled a high, but it's still a 12.
Shit.
They definitely know you're here.
Okay, channel energy.
Ah, I
They,
shouldn't burn on my
that's
potions,
the
damn it.
wrong thing. They turn around. The one that's on the table like swivels around to look at the trap door. The one that's at the counter swivels around to look at the trap door.
Aiden goes, because they just kind of went...
They definitely heard you open. You know, like you gotta look at them.
Oh yeah, I gotta look at them.
But they definitely heard you like.
Alright, well, that's channel energy going off.
All right, and that's 30 foot. Yeah, you bet. You definitely hit both of them.
Oh yes.
So roll your thing, and then you can take a move action. Move action after.
I'm just double checking the damage there. So 13.
13 total.
Yep.
Okay, both of them roll saves.
Will saves, which comes out to 17, I believe.
Well, yeah, both of them fail that hard, so they
Good.
take 13 damage apiece.
Hooray.
They're like barely alive.
Wait, you say 13?
Yep.
You pace both of them.
So everyone's like, "What's up there, Aiden?" He's like, "Just a second, just dust."
You flex your iridescent divine muscles. Hoo-ha!
Hoo-ha! And they
both
are
ghouls
dust.
go.
Magnus goes to
It's like-
pat you on the shoulder in a show of camaraderie and stops at
Stop.
the very last second.
Stop!
So you've opened this door after the initial panic you experienced seeing these 2 ghouls that you immediately vaporized. You realize a couple other things,
Yes.
and the rest of you also realize this. You can hear a sort of... It doesn't really strike you at very first. It takes a couple seconds, but it's definitely... It sounds like a pipe organ,
Oh,
but you can hear it from everywhere.
I thought it was a pretty good line. What's up there, Aiden? Dust.
Okay, so we go up.
I'm trying to drag my
Okay,
yeah, we
myself,
go
but
up.
I realized that was a bad idea. I'll wait for Kane.
I will reveal this area to you.
It's probably really awkward to climb up there one-handed, but just like put that like half of my Earthbreaker up and then pull myself up with that.
I mean,
Going
not
on a
really.
booster
Have you
seat or
ever
something?
climbed a ladder one-handed?
I have not. I didn't realize there was a lot.
It's not that bad.
Fair enough.
It's not that bad. I do it at work, but
Yes, let's get into the kitchen and see how nice it is.
My token has disappeared.
it's a little
Yeah.
dusty.
Don't know where it went.
Smells vaguely of burnt toast.
It might be on this
As
side.
you enter into this kitchen, you notice a lot of the shelves in here are filled with old, dusted over pots and pans. The stove in the northwest corner of the room or northeast corner of the room is covered in dust likewise. It looks like a lot of the things in here haven't been used very frequently. The ghouls you found in here eating basically raw meat out of trays.
Ew.
That poor whole chicken.
Yeah, sure. Chicken, that's what they're eating.
Yes, chicken.
That people looks like a chicken.
It's the other white meat.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This is fried Tengu. Yup.
Hey man, just because he can't tell the difference doesn't.
So where's the door?
The door, you should be able to see the door. It's this silver bit here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Where? Oh, there it is. I see. Okay.
We never got a Joe
Kane,
here. We
Kane.
never got a Donald up here either.
Where are the others?
Kane, can you move my token into the room there?
Can I not?
Yeah. Sorry, let me zoom out a bit and I will. Woo, Jesus, that's too far. I zoomed out too far. Still here. Okay. Whoop. There you are, done.
We need a Joe too.
Yeah.
Where's Joe?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I tried to drag it over, and then all of a sudden it just disappeared.
He dropped himself somewhere in the fog.
He accidentally dropped himself into darkness.
There you are.
I think that's-
Sorry, I wasn't sure if you could see yourselves or not. It's fairly obvious that you can't see yourselves in darkness.
Yeah.
So
Whatever, it's fine.
Magnus is gonna
Joe.
kick the door open.
Joe got on the ladder and clipped through the game and fell off into the nothing.
Yeah.
whoop.
I would prepare a action.
I'm tired of the polygon reveal, so here you go. Boop. You open the door, and that's what you see.
Sweet.
You come into this hallway. Un momento, let me reveal this for you. You come into a hallway that extends both to your left and to your right.
Sure,
There's
me
a
and Magus are just
doorway
two parts of a team.
immediately across.
Nope, go ahead, go on.
There is a doorway immediately across from you, a set of double doors, and the hallway that extends to your right. Wait, you guys have dark vision, right?
Correct.
Well, low light. I have only low light, but if I need dark vision, I can have it.
Also, Aiden's sword is bright as a torch right now.
That's true. That's true. He has
That's
light.
6 feet.
Yeah, why did I even
Extends
know?
off into the darkness. You can see a doorway off to your far right, as well as a large set of double doors,
That
fairly
must be the boss
immediately
chamber.
to your right.
I'd like to actually listen. Is there any other sound that this organ that we have heard before?
The sound of organ music is slightly louder now that you've opened the door, but otherwise it's still surprisingly faint. Like
Okay.
it's being muffled by something.
Okay. Any other sounds?
Other than the sound of your own footsteps on the old wooden floor, no.
Okay. So I have no idea where to go.
I'm just gonna... Hang on.
Well, this seems to be main entrance.
I'm just gonna leave this here.
I already have music picked out for this. Stop trying to overwrite me.
No, I know, I'm just making the same joke we made earlier.
I know.
Does Detect Evil pick up anything as I swivel it around?
Does Detect Evil go through walls?
It does.
Yes.
Yeah. You need 3 feet of wood to block it.
Okay. Yes. To your, in
Use it if you got it.
this direction.
Okay.
There's definitely some bad juju in this direction.
Bad
Like,
juju, go!
To your north, into the room that must be behind this large set of double doors.
Does Aiden point that out?
I imagine
Of
Aiden's
course.
body language points it out, nothing else.
Guy is going to put a finger up to his mask, like being silent, and then he's going to cast Vanish on himself.
Aiden is jokingly holding his sword out in front of him like a divining rod, and just pointing towards the wall and whispering little beeping noises.
Okay, so I know you. Is the sword at crotch level?
It might be.
It might be.
Not if something's about to hit it.
So, Guy casts Vanish on himself, which is actually
Mhm.
looks like invisibility. He's going to move up to the door. And, well, I can't really make the signal to you guys. So don't come any closer.
Okay.
And then I'm going to,
Well, we can-
push open the door slightly. Make a perception.
As soon as he vanished, I think we get the idea.
Yeah. You push on the door and the door doesn't give.
Locked
Uh,
or...
When you're used to, the thing that strikes you as odd about this door is when you're used to pushing on doors that are locked, there's that sort of give, that jarring, noise that occurs when you push on a door that opens but it's locked. This door doesn't move when you push on it. It's like it's part of the wall.
Very quickly, while Vanish is still on, he's going to move over to that double door over there and kind of not rudely, but like assertively, like push everyone away from the door, kind of like just like a soft push, not attempting to bull rush them, but like so that they know that he is there, and so that they know that he is attempting to like open up this door and be quiet about it.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to open the door as well.
This double door that's this down here.
Yeah.
Okay. You're just gonna try to open it.
I'm just gonna like just a little bit, just a sliver.
Okay. So you open this door. Just a sliver.
Oh.
Everything.
And you see a dining hall that, since it's right across the hallway from the kitchen that you entered up through, there's this long, beautiful, like mahogany burl table that has been pieced together from many different pieces, and there's a dozen or so chairs around the circumference of the table, one at the head, one at the foot, and then however many across the breast on each side. And there's a thick layer of dust covering the table. This absolutely, like, I don't know if you have appraise or if you have like an appreciation for the value of.
Yeah, I do
Magnus
have a.
would for backstory reasons because he was a carpenter in a former life.
Well, I mean for Guy specifically.
He has very little value on
Okay, so
personal items of the humanoids of this planet.
However, we definitely just found
He
the loot.
doesn't pick up on this specifically, but Magnus and Victor do, as they look through the crack in the door, pick up on this amazing carpet that exists in this room, as well as how beautiful this table is. The inlays and wood and the chairs and the carpet that are in this room they're exquisite.
Okay.
There's more money than you have ever made.
Okay, Victor, if the party is okay with this, afterwards, he want to take the furniture so he can put it into his home and make it look fantastic.
Your house isn't big enough to hold this table.
Your house is a closet.
Your house is small as shit.
I don't know how big your house is, Victor, but like, this table is enormous.
Yeah. Well,
Enormous.
I would assume, being noble, I would have at least a modest to a large size house.
Oh, I suppose that's true.
just noting that it's very surprising that the mayor of this backwood town would be so wealthy.
Right?
To be fair, have you played Fable
You would
1?
think that it's becoming more and more clear to you after seeing the kitchen here. Like the kitchen, the range that's in that kitchen is extravagant. It's like a huge wood burning stove that's 10 feet across. It's enormous. Like it's the sort of setup that could prepare a meal for the number of guests that would sit at this table. The table itself is exquisite. It's extravagant, almost.
No. Not to mention the gold that we found in the cellar.
Yes.
The savings.
Yeah.
And you leave that behind,
Yeah, don't worry, we're gonna loot the hell out of this place and sell off shit later.
He is
and you
quite quickly to not waste the damage because he does not have long for.
Okay, good.
yes,
Good idea,
no,
Guy.
okay. Let me just reveal some areas real quick. You run up this hallway, down this hallway to the door that you saw at the edge of your dark vision when you first entered through the kitchen doorway, and you open it up and reveal a study.
Steady. Do I hear anything just passively?
No, there doesn't appear to be anything in here, as far as you can tell. There's no sound coming from in here. Just the same, like, ever-present music.
Okay. And I can't smell anything. I don't think. I don't know. It's a discussion we had. I think I can smell it.
Do you have the scent ability?
No, but I mean, just like being able to you could probably smell when you're close enough to it.
Yeah.
But, like, just all of my senses. I think. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you had the scent ability, maybe. Don't.
But I don't have lungs, so it's weird.
Yeah. Okay, are you stepping into this room?
I don't know. I think I'm just going to. Is this a door here or a window?
Yeah. Yes.
Is Hitler alarm going off?
Is it a window? You just said yes, and that was.
It is both.
Yeah. No. It's a door.
Oh, then I'll check out that door really quickly, and then I think it's about time that my advantage will probably wear off.
Okay. This door is not locked. Mostly because no one thought to lock it.
I like it when people tend to not lock their cool
Get me too.
that I'm trying to kill.
Especially because we have no rogues at all.
This door opens onto what at first glance appears to be a wraparound deck.
Interesting.
That sounds like a better option for that room instead of going in the front door.
Yeah.
There's this deck that wraps around as you peer further and further down around the side of the house, down like around the side of the house, and then eventually around the corner.
I've legitimately had Ganon's Castle theme playing this whole time.
There we go. It's not it's not a room. There's like a banister that circles around the side of the house in this sort of like viewing area.
Looks promising. Maybe there will be an entrance from there to that room that we couldn't get into.
Magnus will step into the study.
Yeah, I was going to step into the study as well, drawing my rapier.
Okay.
Now that vanished.
Okay. Inside this room, you step into the study, and to your right is a fireplace. To your left is a pair of cluttered, crowded bookshelves, and immediately in front of you, a pair of leatherback chairs, a desk, and another leatherback chair behind that desk.
Is the desk as nice as the other one was?
It's of this like similar quality. It definitely it's money, like it's worth a lot of coin. When it was paid for.
Yeah, this is probably really hard on Magnus then, because that was his past life before he died and was brought to Valhalla. Probably like PTSD hard for Magnus to see all this stuff, because this is the life he left behind and a life he hasn't like thought about in hundreds of years.
Yeah, you spent all of this time away from your homeland and away from the life you grew up into because of your injury. This house is filled with pieces of woodworking and carpentry that either match or exceed the breadth of your ability.
And while Magnus is going through this whole emotional moment, Aiden's just around like, man, we should keep this place when we're done.
He is going to take a little bit of time to peruse the shelves, see if there's anything that points to involvement in his... points to whoever lived in this house being involved in things that would coincide with his specialty.
While he does that, I actually kind of have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
They're investigating there. There's another corner here. I'm going to keep Aiden right the fuck here because he's a glowy bastard. And I'm going to have Layla creep around the corner and take a look.
What around here?
Yeah, because Layla is tiny. Yeah.
Okay. Let's deal with the study first.
Okay.
So a lot of you that are investigating find a couple things. As you dig through the drawers of the desk, you find a number of legal documents pertaining to the town and the manor estate itself. On the ground, you find a shattered portrait of a beautiful woman with long blonde hair that you assume probably proceeds to the lower of her back.
Nice.
Indeed.
To your right is a fireplace with the lingering coals of a fire, and to your left there are a pair of bookcases which contain, again, several books of law, a couple books of history, and a number of scrolls, mostly of which are deeds or property rights or like declarations. Some of them half written, some of them completely written. There's also like maybe one or two scrolls written in a language you don't necessarily recognize. They might be magical.
Okay. I wish I had the listings.
Well, we've got 3 casters in that room. Can anyone cast? We all have read magic.
Yeah.
I don't have read
As a
magic.
cantrip, I'll cast read magic. Does that assist me at all?
Yes, it does. How long does that particular magic last?
I think it's just like a minute per level, I think.
Or maybe like concentration.
Okay. So you find
10
a
minutes.
scroll. 8 minutes per level.
10.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah. Read magic.
Yeah, that would make much more sense than 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's really complicated math. I mean, that's 40 minutes, but...
You find a scroll, Burning Hands, and you also find a scroll, Identify.
And now I start feeling Moria or something. Where are the floating eyes? Alright. Guy will point out the fact that he has them, and then he will slip them into his, side satchel.
How long has that fire over here been out?
Hmm?
The fire, like you said, there's like coals that are like smoldering yonder.
Yes.
How long does it look like it's been out for?
Give me a survival check.
All right.
Very...
I have a pretty decent wisdom. It's a 9. 7 plus
It's a
2.
Magnus attempts to discover it by licking the coals.
I mean, I have fire resistance 5. I think I can. You know what? Yeah, hold up.
Probably.
I'm gonna see what do I resist? I resist acid, cold. I resist everything but fire. Damn it. Never mind.
What was your total?
A 9.
Oh. Yeah, it was definitely once a fire. It's been burning for a while, probably.
All right.
S-
Magnus is gonna look over at Victor and just light the fire.
Okay. Your familiar sneaks around the corner, Aiden, back out in the hallway. And she looks around this corner here and sees a bookshelf.
Yep.
And as she creeps further, she sees more bookshelves.
Cool.
Very ornate rug, a Chesterfield table. She doesn't encounter. How do I put that? She doesn't encounter like a hostile resistance.
Yeah, and there's no detect evil. No evil going on.
No, not in here. Not so far. It's just books. It's all books.
Very swanky.
More books and more tables.
Let's move on. There are people...
Yeah, I would. Question: Z set of stairs she tells me, are those going up or?
Those are going up.
Did Victor light the fire like Magnus asked him to?
Why do you want that?
Just do it.
Okay, I use flint and steel to light a fire.
Well, it's already. The problem isn't that the fire isn't burning; it's that there's no wood.
Is there wood in the room?
Yeah, there's like a stack of wood next to.
All right, I can't touch it, so I'll use my earthbreaker and just kind of like shovel it in.
Are you going to light every fireplace in the building?
Man, I have played enough like survival horror games. That is an element of the puzzle, sir.
Yes. Okay, I see what you're doing now. Okay, I will grab a log and light the fire.
What are you doing?
So, I want to light the fireplace up to see if a map is revealed using that.
No, you don't. You don't toss the ring in and.
Aiden calls Layla back and then goes to see what the others are doing and asks, guys, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, stop wasting time. Let's
Okay.
move on.
Okay,
Walks
so-
past you heading towards where you were just looking.
Okay, so Guy's heading towards the library. You study. Helyon is on the balcony.
Aiden, yeah. What the hell are you guys doing?
He'll run away in minutes.
Nothing.
We're all doing nothing.
Victor
Do not judge
is
me.
teleporting in between the walls. I'm not sure what's going on.
That much door.
Wow.
Okay, so you get into this library, and there are bookshelves lining most every wall. To the far west of the room, there is a large Chesterfield couch and a table slightly to its left with a lit candelabra. The flame given off by the candelabra is blue. It looks very similar to a continual flame spell.
And looking at the shelves, I see nothing that stands out to me as being related to...
Oh, you okay? I didn't see your perception check. You see a lot of like interesting books on a variety of topics. There's a lot of art books, like books that have that are filled primarily with illustrations. And as you're perusing through the sections of novels, there's at least one bookshelf that seems almost entirely dedicated to musical theory.
I can appreciate
Is there
that.
any large, is there any book that stands out to me on that bookshelf? Just because there's this organ ringing out this entire house, and it would seem that someone who would rig an organ up to be able to play through the entire house and then have a bookshelf filled with musical theory books would most likely have some sort of mechanism or something, considering the fact that they're hauling townspeople house, would have some sort of devious device related to music and music theory and this organ that seems to be.
As you're digging through this bookshelf filled with musical theory books, you find one or two books that kind of strike your fancy as being strange. They have titles like Perpetual Percussion and the Numeric Device of Music, and they detail a couple different sort of not rituals, but like spell configurations that have to do with like in perpetual percussion, a couple different spell methods that deal with looping strings of notes over and over and over again with the use of magic. And in the other book there are some mention of like the use of music in magic as a stabilizing agent.
We're fighting a bard.
Oh shit! Hit the deck.
But outside of that, there's nothing. There's no scrolls in this room. There's spell components in this room or anything like that.
I will take the books as future reference material. I imagine I can read a lot of it quite quickly, considering how simplistic of a language common is compared to my mages.
Yes.
Okay, but in the meantime, we are already over there.